Hi, this is Kiara from Pencil, and today we're going to be going through an example of what a mock tutoring session or lesson could look like in Pencil Spaces. So as a tutor, it could be helpful to prepare your lessons ahead of time. So currently my space is private. Once I've prepared my lessons, I will send my students an invite link to join me in the space. So today I'm going to be hosting a tutoring session on basic mathematics. And one thing I want my student to do is calculate angles. So I'm going to be using the line tool found at the bottom of my space to draw up some angles for my student to calculate. I can change the color of these lines so that they're more prominent. And I can even move around the lines to make adjustments. I'm also going to be drawing over the angle I want them to calculate. And I'm also going to be using the text bar just to give them a place to put in their answer. This is an infinite whiteboard, so I can take up as much space as I want to put in as many angles as I want. So I've drawn up a few angles for my student to calculate, but she will be needing a protractor to do so. So what I'm actually going to do is upload an image of a protractor that she can use in this space. So this will be able to help her do all the angle calculations she needs. I'm just going to reduce the size to make it easier for her to use. So I've created a second board just to separate the different tasks we're going to be doing in our lesson. So on this board, we're going to be doing calculations. I'm going to be using our formula editor to put together these calculations and have them ready for my student. So here I can type out my calculations. Once I'm done, I can just place it on the board. I can add as many math questions to the board as I want using the formula editor. I can even draw out the question I would like them to answer. And again, once I'm done, I can just place it on the board. So now that I've prepared my tutoring lesson, I can also create a separate board for homework I would like my student to complete after we're done. Unless I revoke their access, my student will still have access to this space after they have been invited. This means that they will still be able to edit the whiteboard even after I've ended the call. So now that I've put together homework my student will be able to complete on their own, I want to make sure that they have all the resources they need while they do their homework. So I'm going to be uploading a basic formula sheet from my files into this space in case they need any assistance while I'm not with them. So I'm going to go to File, Pencil Files, and I'm just going to insert it into my space. As you can see, it created a whole new board for the uploaded file, so I'm just going to change the name of the board so my student knows what it is for. So now that I've finished creating my lesson for my student, I'm ready to invite them to my space. So I'm going to select invite, I'm going to type out my student's name, and I'm going to invite them as a participant. So now my student can join our space. So my student has made their way to our space. Once she joins, we can start our lesson. Okay, so now my student has joined me on the call. The first task I'm going to have Haley do is calculate angles using the protractor image we have inserted into our space. So go ahead, Haley, whenever you're ready. So see, she can move around the images herself just to calculate the angles. Okay, awesome. So once I am satisfied with her progress on this task, I want her to start doing the calculations on another board. So I'm going to quickly turn on leader mode so that I can take Haley with me to the next board. So now I'm going to have Haley do some calculations just to test out her bed math skills. Now that we've completed today's lesson, I have a set of homework questions I want Haley to complete, so I'm going to use leader mode again to take her to that board. So because this is a private space and Haley has received an invitation, she will be able to edit the whiteboard even when I'm not on the call, and I will be able to review her work later. So here we are looking at Haley's point of view as a participant in the session. You can see her using the protractor tool to calculate the angles. And once she's found her answer, she can just draw it in with the pen. Here I'm using leader mode, and you can see from Haley's point of view, she is taken to the next board with me. Here she is also using Pencil's calculator tool to calculate the questions I put on the board. Once she has calculated the answer, she can type it in using the text box. Here I'm using leader mode again, and Haley will be taken to the homework page with me. So I have gone back to our space after our lesson, and it looks like Haley's completed her homework, so now I can go back and edit it. So I'm just going to be checking her answers. And I can see that this one is correct, so I'm going to go in with a red pen and mark it as correct. So now I'm going to be going in with the calculator tool just to confirm her calculations. I can see that the first answer is correct, so I'm going to mark it as such. I got the same answer for the second question as well, so I'm going to mark that as correct. And for the last question, I can see that me and Haley got different answers, so I'm going to mark this one as incorrect. And I can see that what she did was she multiplied 10 by 2 instead of doing 10 to the power of 2, so I'm just going to make note of that on the page. I'm going to use the arrow tool and make a note so that she can review. I can also bold and change the color of my text just to make it more prominent so that Haley has no problem seeing my suggestions. So doing homework in pencil is really helpful because now Haley can check where she's went wrong and I know where to focus on in our next lesson. So I can send Haley a message in the Pencil Learning Management System to let her know that her homework has been marked and she can look it over. So I'm going to be creating a new message. I'm going to send her a chat. And now Haley will be notified through Pencil that I've just marked her homework and am ready for another lesson. It is important to note that I can only message Haley through Pencil messages if we both have the paid version of Pencil, meaning we would both have access to Pencil's learning management system. I hope you found today's mock tutorial helpful in demonstrating how you can use Pencil in your day-to-day education.